Mossy Cobblestone Starter House, one of the oldest structures ever added to Minecraft, appearing in alpha versions as far back as 2010. Notch added it on January 24th as the very first structure in the game, a small shelter which meant to give new players somewhere to survive their first night. All thought what was found inside was strange. There were chests which contained 54 full stacks of TNT and every item in the game stacked to 99, including 99 blocks of lava. Blocks of lava? Yes, that was a block that existed. You can find the details in this video. The Mossy Cobblestone house was later reworked into planks and stone, which looked more like an actual house. Neither lasted long as Mojang removed them and let players survive on their own, or maybe die from a baby zombie and a chicken. Giant Brick Pyramid, added on February 27th of 2010. This is still the largest structure in Minecraft history. A hollow pyramid made entirely of brick. One pyramid spawned per every 1,000 by 1,000 block area, which meant a single world could contain infinite of them. If it generated too tall, the top flattened out entirely, making it technically a brick frustum. It had no loot, no purpose, nothing. Poisonous Potato Dimension. The 2024 April Fool's update built an entire alternate dimension. A portal made of potato block transported players to islands of potato block with potato mine shafts hanging underneath them held up by potato pedicles instead of chains. On the surface were potato villages with their own villagers, and hedge mazes made of potato leaves. Searching the mazes for potato eyes eventually led to the Potato Coliseum, a structure which had a boss called Mega Spud. This biome had wide range of blocks, starting from potato ore, frying table, amber gems which was used to trade with villagers, to the replica of elytra as polytra. Every items here were funny jage in some way. I will put a link below to all the details of the dimension. Check it out after watching the video. Farland. The Farlands were a generation glitch that appeared at extreme distances from the world's center, roughly 12 million blocks out, where the game's math broke down entirely and started producing impossible terrain. Walls of solid stone stretching infinitely upward, foam-like masses of floating block, hollow tubes running through the ground. It was completely horrific to look at. Mojang fixed the bug in beta 1.8. Many YouTubers made their journey videos to the Farlands. Nether Spire. This structure only existed in Pocket Edition, added November 15th of 2012 when there was no nether on mobile. Placing a nether reactor core inside the correct structure of gold and cobblestone would trigger the event. Cobblestone converting to glowing obsidian, nether racks around it everywhere, piglins spawning inside, and a chest appearing filled with items, including cocoa beans for some unknown reason. Once the event ended, everything cooled into regular obsidian. When the actual nether arrived on mobile, the reactor was removed. Glass Pillar. The shortest-lived structure in Minecraft history, accidentally left in Beta 1.9 pre-release 3 in October of 2011. It was a debug marker that Mojang used internally to locate strongholds during testing since Eyes of Ender had not been added yet. A glass pillar would simply mark the spot from above so developers could find it quickly. It was not meant to ship and was removed almost immediately. Surface Stronghold. When Jeb first showed off how strongholds could generate, they were intentionally shown spawning above ground, sitting exposed on the surface, fully visible without needing to dig. The idea was that surface ruins could naturally introduce players to how the stronghold structure is before they went looking underground. The underground approach with Eyes of Ender guiding you there made more sense. The Monolith. It was Minecraft's first accidental structure, and one of the stranger things the game has ever generated. For a brief period during in-dev in June of 2010, a glitch in the Perlin noise generator, which is the engine behind natural terrain building in the game world. It caused terrain to abruptly invert in certain areas, creating massive chunk visible floating on the surface, going underneath them revealed so the bedrock layer, meaning it was total void below. Old Village. Before the Village and Pillage update in 2019, villages looked and functioned completely differently. The original villages had no biome variant, plains, desert, or snowy. Every village used the same layout of flat-roofed wooden and cobblestone houses. Villagers were simply called Testificate, written in all caps above their heads. There were no professions, no trading system. Jeb noted during early testing that the blacksmith's lava forge kept setting the entire village on fire, which is why it took so long for the 2019 update. That update replaced everything. New architecture per biome, job sites, daily routine. Tutorial World. Tutorial World was exclusive to the Legacy Console editions on Xbox, PlayStation, and Wii U. It was a fully handcrafted map that shipped with the game and was the first thing new players loaded into. Built around a large castle structure with dedicated rooms teaching crafting, farming, fishing, redstone, and combat, each space designed around a specific mechanic. When the Legacy Console editions were discontinued and replaced by Bedrock Edition, the Tutorial World was discontinued. Funky Portal. Funky Portal was introduced in the April Fool's snapshot of 2020 called 20W14. Write any word or phrase in a book, throw it into another portal, and the portal would change color and send you to a dimension generated around your book's writing. There were 43 dimensions built into the snapshot. The SkyGrid dimension recreated the famous Seth Bling challenge map. The Nothing dimension contained a single grass block and a sign reading, "Ha, I lied. This isn't nothing." The Isolation dimension had a house with signs reading, "Go away," and "No advertisements, please," in Swedish. If you like this video, you might like this one as well, and I am collecting donations as subscribes to fund the next video. See you.